Hey world, it's your host Marshall. Thanks for tuning into my podcast, runONthoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey, thought thinkers, thanks for tuning in to another episode of runONthoughts. I am grateful to be here. I am just off of a wonderful vacation, so I have been living life, the very thing that I asked you guys to do. And on my vacation, on that journey, all I could think about, well, not all that I can think about, but one of the things that I was thinking about is what could I share with you guys that wasn't so heavy, but was still important? And upon thinking about it, I realized that it might be one of the most important things that I discuss with you guys. But before I get started, I want to stand in a place of gratitude and tell you guys that I am thankful. I see the analytics. We are growing as a community, and I am grateful. I am grateful to anyone listening for the very first time. I am grateful to all of those who have been on this journey with me from the very beginning. I welcome you guys to keep listening. I welcome you guys to go to runONthoughts.com and listen, subscribe, share, become a thought thinker. Because remember, you deserve you today. That's what this is all about. And in today's topic, today, the hero lies in you. That's from Mariah Carey's 1992 classic, Hero. And when I thought about it, this is the hero's journey. Today, we are going to be talking about the hero's journey. All of these beautiful books and movies and stories and songs, the ones that become the best sellers, the ones that become the greatest hits, all have the same exact concept. Isn't that so crazy? And with that, I want to first share a word with you guys, a word that I hope some of you have heard, but not all of us. I'm looking for the word. Oh, monomyth. The word is monomyth. Monomyth is a term coined by Joseph Campbell to describe a universal narrative structure found in myths, legends, and stories across cultures and time periods. It is also widely known as the hero's journey. The hero's journey. Like the song, the hero lies in you. Mariah Carey got right to the point in telling you guys exactly what we're going to be discussing today. The hero lies in you. Everything, all of the unpacking that we are doing, all of the unlearning that we are doing is because I want for us all to realize that the hero lies in you. We are having a human experience on earth. And everything you need to get through this human experience lies in you. Everything that you are searching for, everything that you are unpacking, unlearning, all of the things that we are trying to discover, they are all leading to the same place. When I tell you guys that I want you guys to be your authentic self, that authentic self is simply who you are. It is your own hero's journey. The hero's journey is not really out there. It's not out there. Isn't that crazy? It's in you. It's in you. Joseph Campbell talks about, he's a mythological writer, right? He studied myths and legends and stories from cultures across the world. What he discovered was a universal pattern. I don't know if the word discovery is right as it relates to him, because I am sure before him this had already been discovered, and I'm sure it has many forms and many names. But there's a narrative blueprint that kept showing up, no matter the time, place, or people telling the story. He called it the monomyth, or what we now call the hero's journey, as I've stated. The hero's journey, it has a structure, right? In this structure, it takes people who are leaving their familiar world. It's simple. You leave home, right? You face life's challenges out in the world. And while you're facing challenges, that is important to remember. While you are facing challenges, you undergo transformation. And once you undergo this transformation, you return home with a newfound sense of wisdom and power. Isn't that crazy? A newfound sense of power. That middle part is the part that I do not want for any of us to forget, right? When you are struggling, you are all home, home inside of yourself, home inside of your thoughts and your feelings and all of the things that you have been given by the society, all the things that you have witnessed, all of your perceptions. That is your home. That is your inner being struggling to figure out who you are. And then in all of these books, in every last one of these books or movies, or even in the song, you are going on a journey. You are going on a journey that is going to take you through some things. And it's so crazy because I realized it that most of the books and the things that we all love are the hero's journey, because we all like to root for the underdog. We all like when the underdog wins, and that is the journey, right? It's the underdog doing the things, traveling, moving through life, unpacking, getting through obstacles, doing all of the things. That is what we like. The hero is called to leave their ordinary world and step into the unknown. How many things in your life are unknown? How many things are you afraid of? Because when you step out into the unknown, there's going to be resistance, fear, denial, but something keeps pushing you toward it. Something keeps pushing you forward. Can you guys think of some of your favorite books? Harry Potter, The Alchemist, Jane Eyre, and Harry Potter, repeated cycles of facing darkness. Think about all these things, even in Wicked. Even in Wicked, it's the hero's journey. You feel unworthy. You feel like nobody sees you. You feel like the outcast. And then you go on this self journey of discovery and you are afraid, but yet you still have to stand 10 toes down and discover who you are and discover your passions and discover what you are willing to fight for and discover the truth. Because when you find those things out, you find out that they were always connected. They were always connected to your truth. This is so crazy to me because I realized that this epic quest of self-discovery, I'm thinking about my own hero's journey. And I know that we all have it. I know that it's not just found in books and movies and songs. It's embedded in our own lives, right? This hero's journey it mirrors the process of shedding illusions. It mirrors the process of confronting our fears and ultimately returning home to who? What is the thing that we talk about all the time? Returning back to our authentic self. The hero lies in you. It was already there. It was already there. For those of you who are afraid to start your hero's journey, for those of you in the middle of your own battle or just stepping out into the unknown, I invite you, I invite you, I call on you to go on your own journey of adventure, of your own journey of self-discovery, of your own journey of recognizing that everything you are, all of those feelings, the knots in your stomach, usually it's not even you. It's the world at large. It's what you've been told. It contradicts who you are. So, just because it is not what you have been told doesn't make it right. You know who you are. You've always known who you are. The Lion King, Simba, his exile, his trials, and return back to Pride Rock to reclaim his identity. The stories are endless. The Matrix, Neo's awakening, training, confrontation with the system, and realization of his true nature. Children's movies always have a hero story, right? Because children need to feel empowered. Moana leaves her island, faces the ocean challenges, and restores the heart, learning that the strength she sought was always where? In her. Everything you need is in you. Yes, we require our villages. Yes, we need our villages and people for support. But all of the things you need to feel authentic, your hero's journey, again, it lies in you. It's really just that simple. Right? I don't even understand, but you have to be willing. It's not just those feelings of angst. The journey is the departure. That is why I tell you guys that although we unpack our baggage, there is nothing wrong with having baggage. It is having the right baggage. You have to know what you need for the journey. I don't want you guys to carry baggage that is too heavy or not appropriate for the journey. I don't want you to carry swimsuits to Antarctica. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's not baggage. It is the wrong baggage. This is why we have to unpack. Because I want you to begin the process. I want you to start your departure from what you know as normal and step out into the world. I want you to leave home, the home of your mind. Crazy, right? The home of your mind. And I want you to begin the process. Do something new. Say something that you've never said. Even coming of age stories, they're the hero's journey. I just finished watching the Netflix series on Forever with Mara Brock Akil. I love her writing story. I love how she talks about us. I love the humanness and gentleness and normalcy in the work. But essentially, a coming of age story is one of your first hero's journeys. It's when you're afraid, right? You've been sheltered in a world that has told you who you are and who you are going to be. And then you go out into the world and you find someone or something that makes you feel seen and heard as you really are inside, the side of you that was afraid or unable to articulate who you are. And then you go on this journey of self-discovery while being afraid, while being scared, but knowing that if you don't, therein lies the suffering. Every great story, it's in every great story, but you are the great story. That's how I feel about August Wilson's works, right? Some people believe that they're simple, but they are simple. And the reason they're simple, because everybody's story is great. Everybody has a story to tell. We are all already on a journey, but you get to decide if the journey you are on is the journey that you want to be on. I had a beautiful vacation with my sister friends. We went to St. Martin, we went to Anguilla, and we went to St. Bart's. If you know me, you know that I do not like the beach. I can't stand sand. I am not an outdoorsy person. But I do recognize that many people get light and love from being outside. Some people get light and love from adventure. I get light and love from speaking and from solitude. Two polar opposites. I need to connect with the universal energy or God, whoever you call it, and I need to unpack there silently while I'm alone, right? Because I take in a lot of people's problems, and in order to recenter myself, I have to get rid of it, unpack it, learn the lessons needed to be learned so that I can still manifest and continue on my own life's hero's journey. And when I thought about it, I realized that all of my life, all of our lives is a hero's journey. I've told you guys that I lost my mom very young, but even before she died, I knew something was not right with her life. I talk now as if I knew then, but it's not the truth. It's in the now that I can talk about who she was then. When I say that I knew she wasn't happy, I didn't know that that's what it was. I just could see it. I'm using the eyes and the discernment of a grown woman to see through the eyes of the child that I was. I recognized that my mother was stunted and wasn't going on her hero's journey. I didn't have the words to describe what was happening to her, but something was happening to me that said, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to give up my power. And yes, along the way, because of indoctrination, because of the system, because of societal norms, because of the nurturing that I had gotten, I still gave up my powers. But there was something loud and proud inside of me that even fought through the powers that I was giving up. I still wasn't able to give up me. And the crazy thing about it is that my hero's journey was embedded in fear. I didn't want to die like my mother. I didn't want to die internally like the ancestors that I have seen give all of themselves to everything but themselves. I didn't want that for myself, and I don't want that for you guys. I simply don't want that for us. I want us to feel comfortable. I want us to feel comfortable knowing that you do not have to be ready. You just have to get started. And then the universe will meet you where you are. The law of attraction, God, it's all about believing that you can, so you will. Give up. Surrender. Surrender to who you are. Surrender to who you were made to be. Because remember, your birth gives you worth. Your birth gives you worth. Because you are here, you are worthy. That's it. Because you are here, you already exist in the structure, in the cycle of life. Your very birth makes you a part of. But if we are not living in our most authentic selves, we are not being used properly. And that's what's going on in the world. Everybody's trying to be everybody but themselves. Because you think it's easier to be fake, but it is not easier to be fake, because you constantly have to be wearing the cloak of someone else's life while internally you are dying. And I don't want you to die. I want you to understand that in life is where the real work begins. Self-discovery, therapy, journaling, healing, confronting your shadows, confronting the ghosts in your life, learning to trust who? Learning to trust yourself, losing and rebuilding. That's why I don't understand this foolishness about gentle parenting. It should be kind parenting. Love and discipline. Love alone is not enough. Just like discipline alone is not enough. Our children, all of us, need love and discipline. Our children need to face obstacles, because it is in those obstacles that you learn to lose. It is in those obstacles that you rebuild. It is in those obstacles that you build strength, power. It is in those obstacles that you learn who you are, about what you can do. If someone is always showing up to step in, how do you ever gain strength? How can you be proud of yourself when you have done nothing? Parents who step in all the time on behalf of their children are serving their own needs. They are using the child to have their own hero's journey, because they have not been able to do the work inside, or they are still mad at their own parents because they feel leashed and caged. Maybe they got too much discipline. So now you're giving what you think is love, but it's not love. It's not love. If your child is not going on their own hero's journey, it's okay to ride your bike and fall down and scrape your knee or scrape your elbow. It's okay to not know how to do something. Repetitiveness keeps it going, because when they get it, they will cheer for themselves. That's what this is. You have to teach them to be their own cheerleader. Otherwise, they will grow up into adulthood and know how to do nothing and be so afraid of their own shadow. And that is not what you want for them. Because life is beautiful, but it is not promised. And if you make it through this life, you want to have as many powers activated as possible. Especially as a parent, when you know that you are not always going to be there for them. You need to teach them the tools. They need to be on their own hero's journey of losing and rebuilding. It's okay to cry. It's okay not to know how to do something. It's okay to think that it's too hard. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And not in everything are you going to be great. That's the beauty of the journey. You figure out who you are. You figure out where you belong. You figure out what's important to you. Because only then can you stand in your gift, right? And the gift is the return home. What is home? Home is inside. You have gone on a journey and now you can integrate the strengths and skills and passions that you have gotten out there. And now you can integrate them into your life. Because I have often told people that I am afraid of everything, but I also have courage. And I know that that courage for me came from the hero's journey that I attached to motherhood. My favorite movie is Claudine. Something happened to me where I recognized that I could not go down that street of getting welfare and assistance. I think it's a necessary tool for anybody struggling and using it to come up. But for me, I was afraid that it would shackle me. And I did not want to have my son in a system that stuck us. So when I tell y'all I quit school, I got an apartment. His grandmother helped me get an apartment. I paid my $500 rent. I had people who came into my lives in the hero story to assist me on the next level of the journey. But I became hyper focused with school, with work, with building a better life for myself. I became hyper focused with dismantling all of the lies that I had been told, that I can't get this degree and I did it, that I can't be a good mom and I did it, that I can't afford this place to live and I did it, that I can't buy this home and I did it, that I can't, that I can't, that I can't. All of my fears are what because I've been told that I can't. And so I had to begin the hero's journey of I can. I can and I will. And now I stand before you with those integrated parts of me that I now can share with you. I have returned to my community, to my family. I have returned to myself. I have returned Marshall to Marshall with clarity, with peace, with boundaries and purpose. I don't just want you to survive. I see it. The world feels upside down right now. But that is because so many are choosing to not just survive. And sometimes in the hero's story, it has to be set on fire. Because I want you to thrive. I want you to be watered. I want you to grow. I want us all to transform. I want us to recognize that the hero's journey, I'm going to keep reiterating, isn't just in ancient myths or Marvel movies or Disney movies or songs. It lives in every great story because it reflects the deep human truth of what it means to grow, to struggle, and to remember who you are. Because the hero lies in you. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasures you seek. I'm tired of talking to you. Bye.